Hey, all that wolfing in the DM, all that other. I ain't gonna spawn to a game for them grades. I ain't with all that.
You know what I'm saying? I'm safe to come at Oak Block, which I'm not okay with that. I know I'm not safe. Y'all niggas trying to backdoor me. Y'all trying to set me up. Now, man, you goofies do not protect this block. Y'all do not protect this block like y'all supposed to, man. I'm on a bike, and look where I'm at. On the guys, I'm a gangster. What's wrong with these man? I don't go about a 757 Sonny on the guy. I don't give about Davion, Tavion, no family members or none of that on the guy. I'm by myself. I don't give about no nigga. You hear me? I'm by myself. On the guy, I got myself. Family, everybody on the guy. Sonny, Delo, all of them on the guy. I don't give a. I'm going insane tweaking about this. You hear me? I ain't got time no more. On Molly, you.
Yeah! Yeah! Yeah!
Hey, he could have moved some good. Yeah, nah.
Hey, put the camera on shot. They say she got a shot. Yeah, that's the one got the shot. They say
Look
that
at
shot.
him.
What's wrong, Carlo?
Big mom. Who lies with the money, man? I know. The boy back out here on Fulham break. My boy Lo, what you on, Lo? How you coming, Lo? It's our shit. Y'all know.
On phone them on bro.
King David, and we in the middle of the street.
What's that on phone them on bro?
Me and Lo on King.
I'm gonna state their name because I ain't no. Hey, Ebo, you down. Mond, you down. Lil Mike, you down. Delo, you. I think they like this too. Thank you, bro. Anybody else want to add to that? Let's get their spanked up too.
What's it in the mix? Shit on this board. Yeah, that's locked in the field. And he got to act up in that board. I'm down. I've been to the money, the business. I love those boys. I'm a jack for Jaydo. They know I'm a jack for Jaydo. They know I'm a. You know that as lots of niggas we can still bless and everything. The profit I need, this here, our profit. Yeah. And you have like dinner put out. I don't even want to call it. You know it ain't tough. Come on.
The story of the arrest of Munna Mond and the death of AROY seems nobody wins. In the end, AROY is dead. Munna Mond's brother, whose name is JD, is dead. Munna Mond got arrested, is in jail. Munna, Duke, and Youngin, respected O Block members, are dead.
Being a stolen car, detectives still looking for that suspect. This morning, they say so far they've made no arrest. I'm live in Edgewater. That's how it resides, CBS News, Chicago. Thanks so much for calling.
Everyone's circle is smaller. Everyone's future is darker. The story about ego, power, survival, and pride. And now, they have lost their leaders, their shooters, their brothers, and they still haven't found peace. The story and consequences of gang life doesn't end well. It ends in a coffin or prison, saving decade or life sentence. In this tale, we are going to cover the story of the fallout in O Block and tension with some members of 757. Let's start from beginning. Who exactly AROY is? And what's the background on this story? Aloe, also known as AROY, who is an OG member from the O Block, but he also had ties to 757. Some 757 beefs with Lamron and THF, to which O Block is close with and has ties for so many years. Lamron and THF have long ties, even made song bus stop by THF-TP of THF-46, who had ended up getting killed in West Side Chicago. Aloe, aka a Roy beat-up Munna, Mond Young, O Block member, who allegedly has 3+ bodies and is the young generation's main killer other than Buck Munna. He walked towards him and continued to shoot while AROY was fleeing. He shot in the back like 6 times, stood over him. Munna Mond was executed, killed Aloe, aka AROY, in front of the crowd. Later with time, Munna Mond apologizes for killing AROY. After a few months after, O Block forgave Munna Mond, likely because of the 757 connections Aloe had. This year, the beef heated up when Aloe family from 757 got into a back and forth with O Block.
I'm gonna state their name because I ain't no. Hey, Ebo, you down? Mond, you down? Lil Mike, you down? Delo, you. Shit, I think that was like 6 people. I think it was. Anybody else want to add to that? Let's get their ass spanked up too. Yeah, Mond first, definitely first. No, matter of fact, hey, Chop. I know Mond low, we're going to get up real bit anyway. We're going to feed him a sandwich before we kill him. I want Wop first. I'm going to kill Wop and Joey first. Because they so easy. Hey, Wop. Hey, Wop and Joey. Can I get some weed in the X-Pill before I leave? Can y'all come serve me, please? Hey, Wop. This how much gangsta I am. Hey, what? I'm gonna give you $100 for your tray 5, right? Your weed, $25. I'm gonna give you $100 to come give me a tray 5. I bet you won't do it. I'm gonna smoke your big fat turkey ass right there. Roast it up. And Joey, you got one eye, bro. One eye. You can't even see on your right side. Why did you shoot me 3 times? Why? There was some nice shots you did. You shot me in my ass. That shit burned. Ooh. You shot me in that ass, Jake. You shot me in that ass. You. But look, Joey, I ain't gonna shoot you in your I'm gonna shoot you in the head. You already brain damage you got. I might hit your ass with the gun and kill your dumb ass with the gun. I ain't gotta kill you. I'm gonna knock your ass off the gun. That's how much bitch. Why you tell on the ops, Joey? Look, rule number 1. I don't give what you do on the street. Never tell no police who shot you. You got to deal with in the street. Get up with a nigga. You get up with a nigga. Easy. This. I don't want to say. Easy. I love niggas when they get into it with me. I love it. It don't do nothing but make my hard. Make me come outside. Mond, Hotop, Delo, Nuwap, Joey. That's 3, 4, 5, 6. On my mama, that's 6 is merged on Molly on Avion Givens. The is dead man. I'm better move that crib. You better move that crib. Think I'm gonna let that little slide? Nigga better move that crib. Hey, now look, E. Public announcement. You better move off the 4th floor. Cause I'll be there every day. Every day. Better go to your mama house. Y'all backdoor the wrong. My loyalty to this block is still to this block. I ain't gonna backdoor no nigga cause y'all backdoor me. I don't do that. I'm a real. Come through my front door and but no, you just wanna come through the back door, thinking I'm a calm man, think I'm scary. I ain't dumb. Ask Wop when he shot me in my head, what I do? Fall to the ground. He ain't wanna shoot me. He up. Hey, y'all see the song, he had the gun like this. He didn't even want to shoot me. Wop could have been killed me. He shot me in my head. That boy was running so slow. Why you running so slow? If I was running and I shot you in the head, I'd have overkilled your. Yeah, I made y'all last video. That's the last video we shot. I ain't getting no more videos that. He can't rap. I hate his music. He sound like he got spit in his mouth or something. Blow the 50. Hey E, when you went to go blow a 50, bro? You don't even own a 50. You got a little ass.
You know, he meant that from the heart. Imagine someone killing your sibling on camera for the world to see. Not get booked and see dude running around filming music videos and doing truth teller interviews. If you look deeper, it was reaction though for betting beat up. This is a valuable lesson that unfortunately is too late for AROY to learn. No more street codes. It's looked like people don't do no more fighting. Guns trump over fists. My only thought is your friends don't stomp you out during a fade. AROY got ahead of himself and got killed for it. Valuable lesson. Some individuals like AROY seems not or can't take a loss, so Munna has to react by killing AROY. Actually, it's Munna and Lil Mike were getting beat. Supposedly, from what I've gathered and heard, is that they both stole some money from Nuwap. And they were going to try and get the money out of them, which resulted in Munna killing him for making him look like a weak individual. You have to remember, had about 3+ bodies at that time, he received the beat. You have checked Nuwap's followers that he doesn't follow either of them, so there's still some animosity about. Young Generation's O Block affiliate Mond was arrested 2025, almost 4 years later, for the murder of AROY. That happened in 2021. Mond O Block was charged with the murder of AROY O Block in 2021. Chicago police announced the arrest of 24-year-old Jammin Brown of Chicago. According to police, authorities identified Brown as the alleged gunman who shot and killed a 27-year-old male on December 13, 2021, in the 6400 block of S. Martin Luther King Jr. Members of the Chicago Police Department and the U.S. Marshals Great Lakes Regional Fugitive Task Force took Brown into custody on Monday, May 5th, in the 2600 block of S, California. Brown faces a first-degree murder charge in connection with the slaying. O Block forgave Munna Mond, likely because of the 757 connections Aloe had. All Aloe brothers claim 757, and they on Facebook saying Munna Mond is ducking. Aloe a real member originally from the low end. 757 is a three-set alliance located in the Douglas neighborhood of the south side of Chicago, Illinois. 757 consists of the Rock Nation GEDs in the Dearborn homes on 27th Street and State Street, the Lawless GEDs in the Lawless Gardens on 35th Street and Rhodes Avenue, and the Avenue BDs on 37th Street and Indiana Avenue, the last digits of each street making 757, 27th, 35th, 37th. 757 has subsets like Rock Nation 27, which is a GED in 27th and State. Also, Lawless 035, which is a GED in 35th and Rhodes. And the Avenue, which is a BD in 37th and Indiana. Brief history of 757. Before 757 was formed in 2014, members of Rock Nation, Lawless, and the Avenue always remained close since most of them come from the Harold L. Ike's homes on 24th and State, which were demolished between 2009 to 2011, causing members to move to different neighborhoods. The murder of AROY happened at 6400 King Drive. Identify Brown as the alleged gunman who shot and killed a 27-year-old male on December 13th, 2021, in the 6400 block of S. Martin Luther King Jr. A Chicago man is in police custody years after allegedly shooting and killing a man in the city's Grand Crossing neighborhood. Munna Mond was a big figure to the young generations. And everyone know how them O-Block young generations come. Crash outs killing and stealing from their own. Owed Nuwap money, who wasn't even really that bothered. AROY spoke up and wanted to discipline the young generations, but they weren't having it. He was nobody to them, not even from their block. He was friends with older members. AROY was retreating while Munna Mond was shooting at him. That destroys self-defense. He shot him in the back, then ran up and shot him more when he was down. He's not getting anything dropped. Munna Mond has now been charged with AROY 757/O Block murder. The police took close to 4 years. He walked towards him and continued to shoot while AROY was fleeing. It looks like self-defense is out the window. He shot him in the back like 6 times, stood over him. This doesn't look like Munna Mond getting manslaughter or self-defense for that. But who knows? Drop the comments if you think Munna Mond can get manslaughter for this murder. Dude got beat, AROY turned his back. He got up and shot them all in his back. Someone can say, he beating that. Who knows? But let's take like this. Was cold-blooded murder. Video too crazy to call a manslaughter. If you continue to shoot a guy who is fleeing and you keep shooting him after he falls to the ground, self-defense is not an option in this case if that video is allowed in a trial. with the new laws in Chicago CPD, has made several arrests in cold cases throughout the entire city. It's always been to lack of witnesses Mond was arrested for Aloe murder. Before, but no solid evidence or witnesses came to the defense of Aloe. Notable people that have been arrested in cold cases are Oat E.V. Lil Snake, Munna Mond, MTV Meek, Buff City Chemo, Hula Gang Lawrence, or Lil Law. Why wasn't he charged when it happened? It was literally on video. I never understood how he just got away with a murder in 4K video, which all over Reddit, Facebook, Rumble, Instagram, and even people have in their grandmother Motorola phones. A lot of the times with these cases, police already know what's going on, but just doesn't have sufficient evidence to bring charges. If they preemptively filed charges and he beat it, he can't get tried again due to double jeopardy. They probably found new evidence. A lot of times they still need people to cooperate, even if it's on camera. That's why Nate wasn't charged with Melly. They even say they caught him with a murder weapon, but they said they still needed people to cooperate. Would it be camera footage alone would have been enough evidence? They need statements and eyewitnesses too. That's why the feds take a while to come get you and why they have such a high conviction rate. Because they make sure they gather enough artifacts of concrete evidence to secure a verdict. The part that gets me, it seemed like Aloe let him off easy. He really hurt his pride and ego more than he hurt him physically, because he could have kicked dude all in the face and did him super dirty. Let him get up just to get gunned down. It was only a matter of time. Self-defense cases can be more complicated than whether or not the person that got shot was facing you or not, especially when the person was just beating him up. It definitely wasn't like a 100% justifiable self-defense shooting. So he'll probably plea out to something like manslaughter, maybe if he has to take that route. What y'all think? The police didn't arrest him right away because they were waiting for someone else to kill him. They understand how things operate in Chicago, if you've noticed. It makes sense with the way Chicago works and knowing they're not good at getting convictions. Instead of wasting time and money, try to arrest the killers killing other killers and then beating murders. Even if they're arrested, they wait for another killer to come kill him, and if CPD can catch that killer, then they do. However, the O Black taking Munna side on that is still crazy. But what would you do if you were O Block member? Shooter versus fighter. Who you thought they was gone side with? They even went to a AROY funeral and still was with Munna Mond. Further proof that the gang life is something else. The streets in jail is really similar to the animal kingdom. You're either the prey or the predator, and since most people are followers, they will stand behind the predator 9 times out of 10. Some folks will let a known shooter get away with snitching out of fear, even though they would never tolerate it if it was the store runner that snitched. People love to talk about loyalty like it's everything, but the truth is, this game has always been about reputation and fear. That's what really runs it. AROY wasn't supposed to put his hands on Munna Mond. That's gang politics. You ever seen that video of Gleesh when he was about to snap on the youngins? But everybody was holding him back. That's because them youngins would have popped him and nobody would be wrong, because you don't beat and embarrass your youngins. You're supposed to take it up with your members the right way. Crazy how the same guy holding back Gleesh was the same guy Mond allegedly robbed money, from which made AROY put hands on Mond and was there to witness Mond killing him. The ones that was closer to Mond, off course, they're gonna pick his side. Plus they probably know how this go. An individual put his hands and feet on you, they would probably do the same thing. Definitely, for sure the jump outs was on his side, but I was surprised seeing guys like Duke and like the older generation that actually been around Aloe. And they was with Mond after that, but still posting AROY. Anyway, that was my commentary. If you have followed me this far, drop the comments. Like the video, then we continue. The series of events began with the recent arrest of Munna Mond, who has now been formally charged with the murder of Aloe, also known as AROY. The killing took place on December 13th, 2021, in the 6400 block of South Martin Luther King Jr. Drive, an area known as Parkway Gardens, or more commonly, O Block. Mond, whose legal name is Jamin Brown, appeared in court this past for his initial detention hearing. The charging of Mond marks a significant development, not out of personal anticipation, but because the identity of the shooter had long been an open secret. Many in the community questioned why it took authorities so long to act. At the time of his indictment, Mond was already incarcerated on unrelated firearm charges. According to witness accounts and circulated video footage, the altercation began as a physical confrontation between Aloe and Mond. During the fight, Aloe reportedly overpowered Mond, knocking him to the ground and landing several punches. After Aloe walked away, Mond allegedly retrieved a firearm and opened fire, striking Aloe multiple times. The incident was captured on video by a bystander and later spread widely online. The young woman who recorded the footage was allegedly targeted and assaulted afterward. While Aloe was viewed by some as a divisive figure, he had the open support of a few key O Block members, most notably Big P, his older brother. Big P publicly accused Mond of the murder, posting about it repeatedly on Instagram. Most higher-ranking members, however, remained neutral or subtly aligned with Mond due to his active role in the streets. He had gained credibility through his associations with groups like JAYDO Jump Out Boys and younger affiliates like TSG. Even elder figures such as Munna, E-Dog, Gleesh, and Boss Top were reluctant to oppose him, recognizing the younger generation's dominance in ongoing street activity. Mond himself added fuel to the fire by posting cryptic, and some say incriminating, Instagram stories. One read, "Before he died, he was a goofy. Now he's famous. Only two Roys. T-Roy and V-Roy. The block knows that though. The police already know this information. They just can't charge them because there is not enough evidence. This takes us to tensions between Big P and Mond. At one point, Big P was allegedly close to retaliating. He made several incendiary posts on social media, even encouraging Lil Mike, Mond's cousin and fellow Block member, to backdoor him with a $5,000 offer. Their conflict escalated through public messages, including a leaked DM conversation in which Mond attempted to justify his actions, claiming Aloe was at fault. Ultimately, Big P chose not to act, citing family concerns and guidance from Munna and E-Dog, who reportedly urged him to stand down.
Hey, T.Y. Munna, 6'4". With my $30 cash out, but then I tell you don't send my cash out, don't always send you money for your perk. I want you to send me some money today. I'm tired of my money. T.Y., send me $10 cash out. Tay-Tay, send me $10 cash out. Shiesty, send me $10 cash out. I want my money in 20 minutes or I'm gonna put some more out y'all did on the block. Y'all scared of me. I'm on my way up. Hey man, public announcement one more time. Now, all my shorties from O Block with me, and I used to y'all, and I always cash out y'all money, gave y'all hundreds and fifties, all that. Y'all know who y'all is, I ain't gonna even say y'all name, you hear me? T-Money's the only one locked up, so this goes for the rest of you. You hear me? I want y'all to beat Mr. Man ass for dissing A-Lo. I want y'all to beat Tay-Tay ass for dissing A-Lo. Y'all got exactly 1 hour to do this violation before I come to the block. Now I'm finna go downtown, give me a Nike tag, give me the new Jordan, give me a pair of Timbs and a pair of mirrors. When I get done shopping, y'all better take care of that business, TSG. Since y'all said y'all were and y'all love you know what I'm saying? Safe to come at Oak Block, which I'm not okay with that. I know I'm not safe. Y'all niggas trying to backdoor me. Y'all trying to set me up. Now, man, you goofies do not protect this block. Y'all do not protect this block like y'all supposed to, man. I'm on a bike, and look where I'm at. On the guys, I'm a gangster. Now I'm pulling in the third car through the gate. Who gonna do something about that nigga? Hey, G-Dub, on my way to kill these niggas. They don't even know it, I'm here again. Dumbass people. An O-Block. Yes, sir. All right, JoJo. Come outside, guys.
On December 13th, 24.3 years to the day of Alo's death, J.D. Munna, Mond's blood brother, was fatally shot in Mafia Town, a territory he was known to frequent. Reports indicate a white sedan pulled up and opened fire, hitting J.D. 12 times in the chest and head. He succumbed to his injuries at the hospital. J.D.'s murder is believed by many to be direct retribution for Alo's killing. J.D. was known to avoid online drama and was seen as more low-profile than Mond, making the attack all the more chilling. A family photo featuring Mond and J.D. had been posted just weeks before. Notably, their older brother Fahim was also killed by members of 757 over a decade earlier, just blocks away from J.D.'s murder scene. Following J.D.'s death, some speculated that the murder may have pressured law enforcement into acting more swiftly against Mond. However, the more likely catalyst was the emergence of new witnesses. Given the public nature of Alo's murder, in broad daylight and witnessed by multiple residents, it's no surprise that someone eventually came forward. There are also circulating theories suggesting the motive for Alo's confrontation with Mond may have involved a robbery linked to a figure named Nuwap, though details remain unconfirmed. The double homicide, Munna Duke and Youngin. Shifting to more recent events, the O-Block community was rocked once again on Saturday when two of its most well-known figures, Munna Duke and Youngin, were killed in a triple shooting on Chicago's North Side. The incident occurred near Pork Chop Barbecue on 6341 N. Broadway around 1:20 a.m. Police found 3 men shot. Youngin, 28, and Duke, 31, were both pronounced dead at separate hospitals. A third man, 36, was shot in the back and survived. Rumors suggest this may have been Domo from 600. Reports from witnesses suggest this was not a random drive-by. One mother, whose daughter was nearby, claimed that a masked individual had been pacing outside the bar prior to the shooting and opened fire as a group of men exited the establishment. Her daughter's car was hit by a stray bullet, and one of the victims collapsed directly in front of it. Theories behind the shooting. Several theories have emerged regarding the motive and perpetrator. First theory, Taekwon World beef. The second theory brings Taekwon World into the conversation. The beef between O-Block and Taekwon World dates back to at least 2014 and has only escalated since. Both sides have taken heavy losses. During the Get Back Gang era, Duke was rumored to have played a role in 2 major murders involving Taekwon World members. After Duke and Youngin were gunned down, Taekwon World affiliates mocked the killings on social media, particularly aiming their jabs at Duke, and paid tribute to Poppy and TB, both of whom Duke was allegedly connected to in their deaths. Second theory, Front Street ties. The first theory centers around Front Street, a crew that has had a turbulent relationship with both the younger and older factions of O-Block for a while now. It's well known within the streets that there have been shootings and homicides tied to this ongoing tension, though these incidents have largely been ignored by the public and swept under the rug. This theory gained momentum when a Front Street associate was spotted online posing with what looked like Youngin's bloodied chain shortly after the killing. While many interpreted this as a direct taunt, several O-Block members came forward to deny that the chain belonged to either Youngin or Duke. Still, it was unmistakably an O-Block chain, and how it ended up in someone else's possession is still a mystery. That being said, it's questionable whether the shooter, regardless of who they were with, would have had enough time to snatch a Cuban link off a victim's neck at a crowded scene, especially with O Block members nearby who would have likely retaliated. Cuban links are tough to remove, especially in high-pressure situations. 3 theory, Ghoulie gang involvement. The third theory, arguably the most compelling based on what's publicly known, points to Ghoulie gang, also known on the streets as Bloodbath or 130. According to a police source close to the case, surveillance footage shows the shooter fleeing in a stolen Infiniti Q50. Less than 2 hours after the shooting, that same car was found torched in the 600 block of East 134th Place, deep in Ghoulie gang's turf. This detail has led many to believe that the hit was carried out by someone tied to Ghoulie gang. As for the history between O Block and Ghoulie gang, it's complicated. Action Savage, a prominent figure from 130, used to have ties with O Block members. Things reportedly went south when Boss Top and others tried to rob him. The situation spiraled into a shootout in which Boss Top was shot and relieved of his belongings, with 4 others wounded, including Action Savage. More recently, J4 from O Block dissed Ghoulie gang in a song, reigniting old hostilities. Since then, both sides have exchanged threats online. After the double homicide, Ghoulie gang affiliates posted cryptic but pointed messages on Instagram. Some viewed them as disrespectful. Still, this theory is messy. One of Ghoulie gang's rising stars, Chucky, is signed to OTF, creating a complicated web of alliances. If Ghoulie gang was behind the hit, it could spark internal conflict. Which one among the theories makes more sense to you? Despite speculation, no arrests have been made yet in the killings of Duke and Youngin. However, there is optimism that justice may be served. Surveillance footage reportedly captured the entire incident, and if investigators commit the necessary resources, arrests could follow. Still, concerns remain about mishandled evidence and law enforcement inefficiency at the crime scene. Both Duke and Youngin were influential figures in the streets. Duke, in particular, had survived a previous attempt on his life in 2018 and carried a heavy reputation. His death is likely to provoke a strong response. Members of TSG and heavyweights like DQ have already vowed revenge. Some even speculate that E-Dog, once retired, may re-emerge in light of these events. A balloon release was held in their honor, with a large turnout including figures like Trey 5. Duke was respected as an original O Block member from the pre-WIIC City era, while Youngin was closely tied to the GBMG wave. Over 50 shots were fired in the incident of Munna Duke and O Block Youngin. Alleged O Block gang leader among 2 killed in Edgewater shooting. Rashon Munna Duke Vance, slain early Saturday, was an associate of superstar rapper Devon King Von Bennett, killed in 2020. Also killed was Daryl Givens, 31. But according to sources, the police did a messy job and left a lot of evidence behind. Both Duke and Youngin were high-profile figures. Youngin was known as a major trapper, while Duke was an alleged killer and rapper with a heavy reputation. Duke, in particular, was a recognizable face with multiple rumored bodies to his name, and his death is likely to spark serious consequences. This isn't the first attempt on his life. Either the ops nearly got him back in 2018, not long after Getright's murder, when Duke was shot in the leg. Members of TSG have already vowed retaliation, and even heavyweights like DQ have made promises of get back. Just like Big Mike already retired, to hope E-Dog retired too. He won a few left from O-Block. I don't know if I should say he know how to move. He is veteran in Chicago wars. But the balloon release for Duke and Youngin took place while Youngin were laid to rest, with many showing up to pay their respects, including Trey 5 and May O-Block members and Thur allies. And Duke was an original member from the pre-WIIC City era, and Youngin represented the GBMG generation. Rashon Munna Duke, Vance was an associate of Davon King Von Bennett, the late rapper who was O-Block's most prominent member. Vance was identified by his nickname as a leader of the O-Block criminal enterprise during a months-long racketeering trial at Chicago's federal courthouse that ended in January 2024. Vance, Daryl Givens, and another man were each shot when gunmen jumped out of vehicle around 1:20 a.m. Saturday and fired at least 50 shots in the 6300 block of Broadway. Rashon Munna Duke, Vance, 31, was struck in his chest and taken to Weiss Memorial Hospital, where he died, police said. Givens, 28, shot multiple times, was pronounced dead at St. Francis Hospital in Evanston. The other man, 36, was shot in the back and taken to Evanston Hospital in fair condition. To summarize the story, Judd, in case you missed, and lesson from the story is that AROY, also known as Aloe, was an OG original gangster from O-Block, the infamous apartment complex at 6400 South King Drive, Parkway Gardens. Though affiliated with O-Block, AROY had strong ties to 757, especially through his family and roots on the low-end Douglas neighborhood. 757 itself is a multi-set alliance made up of Rock Nation GDs 027, Lawless GDs 035, The Avenue BDs 037. These groups originated from the now-demolished Harold Ike's homes and have long-standing relationships and tensions with various factions on the south side. The beginning of the beef, Munna Mond versus AROY. Munna Mond, real name Jammin Brown, was a young and active shooter in O-Block's younger generation, alleged to have multiple bodies under his belt. He and another young member, Lil Mike, were suspected of stealing money from Nuwap, a respected O-Block affiliate. AROY tried to discipline them, reportedly beating them up in front of other members, a major breach in gang politics, especially against the younger, more active shooters. The murder of AROY. On December 13th, 2021, a viral video captured AROY fighting and beating Munna Mond. Mond getting up, pulling a gun, and shooting AROY multiple times, including in the back while he was retreating. Mond standing over AROY and executing him, all caught on camera. The video went viral on social media platforms, but no immediate arrest was made. Why wasn't Munna Mond arrested immediately? Despite video evidence, police lacked cooperating witnesses, and due to how the justice system works, prosecutors couldn't proceed without risking acquittal and double jeopardy. Law enforcement typically waits to build a strong case, especially in gang-related murders where community cooperation is rare. The arrest didn't come until May 2025, nearly 4 years later, when Mond was already in custody for unrelated gun charges. Gang politics. Why did O-Block forgive Mond? Many in O-Block didn't side with AROY due to his 757 affiliations, his older age and perceived distance from current street activity, the younger generation's dominance in violence and influence, while some older members like Big P, AROY's brother, and Boss Top paid respects to AROY, they ultimately didn't press back against Mond. O-Block largely chose the shooter over the fighter, reflecting shifting dynamics in gang culture where firepower outweighs legacy. The retaliation and fallout. J.D. Munna's murder, 2024. On December 13th, 2024, exactly 3 years after AROY's death, J.D. Munna, Mond's brother, was gunned down in Mafia Town, widely believed to be retaliation for AROY's murder. This attack was strategic and brutal, 12 shots to the chest and head. Rising tensions between O-Block and 757. AROY's 757 family publicly called out O-Block and claimed Mond was hiding, ducking the consequences. Some say the murder of JD may have influenced the police to finally act on Mond, although others credit new witness cooperation. The murder case. Will Mond beat it? The video evidence is damning. A man retreating, shot multiple times in the back, then finished off while down. Self-defense is unlikely to hold, especially if the court allows the footage and any social media posts as evidence. A manslaughter plea might be possible if prosecutors believe there's some gray area around provocation, but first-degree murder is the current charge.
A lot of people can't never say we ain't out here. Photos out here. You know, feel that strip. Ain't no loafing.
Let me talk to him. Let's get that note.
Man. Hey, they say I wear the same black jeans.
You say what?
They say I wear the same black jeans.
They be on.
Double homicide. Munna, Duke, and Youngin, 2025. In early 2025, Munna, Duke, O-Block OG, and Youngin were killed in a shooting near a barbecue spot on the north side. Multiple theories about the perpetrators. Front Street beef over a snatch chain. Taekwon World retaliation. Old murders like TB/Poppy. Gully Gang bloodbath / 130 car used in getaway was found burned in Gully Gang territory. Both men were high-profile targets. Their deaths suggest ongoing retaliations and intra-affiliate disputes, even among factions loosely tied to ODF. The broader picture, what it all means. Gang culture in Chicago has evolved, with power now largely in the hands of younger, more reckless shooters. Respect and discipline once upheld by older members are often ignored. Reputation and fear, rather than loyalty or hierarchy, govern affiliations. Murders often remain unsolved until witnesses come forward or killers get killed, a dangerous feedback loop. This story, like many others in Chicago's gangland, shows how one fight spiraled into years of bloodshed. This story, tragic, raw, and disturbingly real, offers multiple lessons, not just about individuals like AROY and Munna, but about the deeper systems of violence, loyalty, ego, and survival that govern environments like O Block and other gang-affiliated communities. Here are the key lessons we can learn from this. Part 1. The death of the street code. For decades, neighborhoods like O Block lived by a street code. It wasn't law, but it was order. OGs gave direction, violations were corrected, and internal beef was handled quietly. But in this story, we saw the death of that code. AROY tried to enforce it by disciplining a younger member. Instead of respect, he got betrayal and bullets. The younger generation didn't see him as a leader. They saw him as an outsider with no real pull anymore. Lesson: when respect is no longer the foundation of leadership, only violence is left. And once the code is gone, there's nothing left to bind the group but fear. In the aftermath of AROY's death, there was no rally behind him. Why? Because in today's gang culture, your worth is judged by what you can still do, not what you've done. Mond embodies. He was active. He made the block look dangerous. AROY? He was old, loud, and disconnected. This isn't a matter of justice. It's pure survival math. Who do we need? Who do we fear? Who do we follow? And it was clear, the block chose the shooter over the soldier. Lesson: loyalty doesn't exist where fear rules. Power is temporary, and everyone's value is conditional. Part 3. Ego kills faster than guns. What triggered the murder wasn't just the fight, it was the public humiliation. Mond, a known shooter with street credit, got beat in front of his peers. He could have walked away. AROY did. But in Mond's world, his name was everything. If he didn't respond, it would look like weakness. And in gang life, weakness invites death. He wasn't fighting for his life. He was fighting for his image. Lesson: in a world where pride is currency, one bruise to the ego can lead to death. The street doesn't forgive embarrassment. Part 4. The silence of the neighborhood. The entire murder was caught on camera. It spread everywhere, yet no arrest was made for nearly 4 years. Why? Because no one talked. Because fear outweighs justice. Because snitching is a death sentence in neighborhoods where everyone has dirt on each other. Police waited. They couldn't risk charging Mond too soon and watching him walk free. They needed more, and more didn't come until other deaths piled up and the politics shifted. Lesson: in communities trapped between the law and the streets, justice is slow, inconsistent, and rarely trusted. Instagram stories, leaked DMs, diss posts, viral footage. This case wasn't just fought in the streets, it was fueled by the internet. Mond taunted AROY after his death. Big P threatened retaliation. People built narratives through posts instead of sitting down. It's not just about the gun anymore. It's about the clout after the shooting. The internet made the murder bigger, louder, permanent. Social media isn't just documentation, it's escalation. It makes murder into legacy, beef into spectacle, and revenge into content. 3 years to the day of AROY's murder, JD Munna was killed. Not a shooter, not even a frontliner, just Mond's brother. It wasn't random. It was a message dot, and shortly after, Mond was finally arrested to then more high-profile deaths. Munna Duke and Youngin, both O-Block figures, both respected, both killed in a targeted hit. Each death leads to another. Not just loss, but a reshuffling of power, fear, and revenge. In this world, violence isn't accidental, it's inherited. The street doesn't forget. Revenge isn't justice. It's ritual. There is no final retaliation, only the next body. Older guys like AROY thought structure still mattered. Respect, hierarchy, talking it out before pulling a gun. But the younger generation sees the world differently. Fighting is outdated. Guns settle everything. Clout is more valuable than peace. You don't earn respect by being smart. You earn it by being feared, and you keep it by doing dirt when tested. AROY didn't understand that shift, and it cost him his life. There's a generational divide in the streets, and the OGs are no longer in control. The game has evolved, and it's deadlier than ever. Final takeaway, nobody wins. In the end, AROY is dead. JD, his killer's brother, is dead. Mond is in jail. Duke and Youngin, respected O-Block members, are dead. Everyone's circle is smaller. Everyone's future is darker. This wasn't about justice. It was about ego, power, survival, and pride. And now, whole blocks have lost their leaders, their shooters, their brothers, and they still haven't found peace. Gang life doesn't end in loyalty or power. It ends in a box or a cell. Real life message. What can we learn beyond the streets? For those outside the streets, young people, educators, mentors, this case is a living lesson in broken systems. Trauma left untreated becomes violence. Communities with no hope create warriors, not men. When masculinity is tied to fear and force, the only emotion you can show is rage. And when the world stops seeing you as human, you stop acting like one. If this were a documentary, these are the final words that would flash on screen. This is not a cautionary tale. It's a real one, and it's still happening. This is not just a story of two individuals. It's the collapse of a value system. The absence of accountability, respect, or real community structure creates an environment where young men kill to be seen and survive to be remembered. From a societal standpoint, it's a case study in how poverty, trauma, and culture fuel violence. How systems, legal, social, and community fail to intervene in time. How youth grow up in a war zone with no roadmap but survival. If you're someone watching from the outside, the biggest lesson is do not romanticize gang life. It's not brotherhood. It's not honor. It's ego, trauma, and death on repeat.